Okay, we're going to work through our exit slip 110 here and go through some of our thinking. We're going to indicate whether each of these statements are true or false. And some of these can be a little tricky, so you really have to know these definitions. Question A, a million is a counting number. It is a number that I could count if I had to count that high. You could see it and count that many if you needed to. Question B, a million is an integer. Again, that is also true because an integer is any whole number or its opposite, and we know million is a whole number. Question C, every rational number is an integer, and this is false. Okay, every rational number, anything that can be a fraction is a rational number. That's not always an integer because an integer has to be a whole number or its opposite, and rational numbers always aren't whole numbers. Question D, we're going to kind of reverse it here, and it says every integer is a rational number. In that case, this is true because every integer can be a fraction. We can make them in whole numbers into fractions by placing a 1 under them. So that case, this is true. Question E, 0 is a rational number. That is true. Again, because remember, a rational number is any whole number or its opposite, or excuse me, a rational number is any thing that can be a fraction, and 0 can be a fraction, like 0 over 2, 0 over 3. Those are all fractions and still equals 0, so that would be true. Question F, 0 is a counting number. Okay, this is false. Okay, 0 is not a counting number. You can't count it. You can't see it because there's nothing there, so there's nothing to count. So it is not a counting number. Question 2, circle all the numbers that belong to each number set. So if we're looking at integers here, we know integers are whole numbers, which include 0, okay, or their opposites. So 0 is an integer, negative 35 is a whole number or its opposite, and 1,000 is a whole number, so that would be an integer as well. Question B, looking for your counting numbers, numbers you can count. In this case, the only one is 1,000 because these are not counting numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got some negatives here and some fractions, so those are not counting numbers. Rational numbers are any numbers that can be fractions, and in this case, every single one of these could be a fraction by placing the denominator under them of 1 in this case, or you could put a 1 under that as well, and all of these, and we could read that as a fraction and convert it to a fraction, so all of these are rational numbers. And whole numbers are any counting numbers including 0, and in this case we have 0 here, and 1,000 is a counting number, so that would work. And these are rational numbers or integers, but they're not whole numbers. Okay, so a lot to remember, definitions here on some of these and what these mean, but here are the answers to this exit slip.